Acceptance. Acceptance of the gift. The acceptance is simply the noun form for accepting or taking of something. Basis. Basis for the decision. The basis for a decision would be the underlying information or logic that was used to make the decision. What was the basis for your parents' decision to enroll you in this vocabulary program? Considerate. Disruptive behavior is not considerate. Being considerate means that you would consider what is important for another person. It generally means that you are nice enough to think of the other person first. Giving up your seat on a crowded bus for an elderly person would be a considerate thing to do. Dispatch. Police dispatcher, finish with all dispatch. The police dispatcher is the person who takes 911 calls and dispatches or sends out the police officers. The officers would act with dispatch, meaning they act quickly. Foresight. Enough foresight to be prepared. Fore means front or before. To have foresight means to see something before it happens. Usually it means you are able to think ahead and be prepared for the future. Impose. I don't want to impose. Impose a fine. When visiting another town, you might prefer to stay at a hotel instead of staying over at a friend's house because you don't want to impose. If you break a law, the judge can impose a fine instead of sending you to jail. Malfunction. Computer malfunction. Mal means bad. To malfunction means to function incorrectly. You will often find that computer programs malfunction and they can freeze up your computer. Many science fiction movies are about some robot or computer malfunction that ends up killing humans. Pacify. Pacify the child. PAC, P-A-C, means peace. The Pacific Ocean was named that way for being very peaceful. If a baby is crying, you would want to pacify him any way you can. Pun. No pun intended. A pun happens when a word can be interpreted two ways, or when two expressions refer to the same thing. James Bond is famous for making this kind of pun, like, he's a little tied up right now, to describe somebody who was hanged by his neck. If you make a pun accidentally, you would say, no pun intended, after you make the statement. Sphere. Earth is a sphere. A sphere is the shape of a ball. The Earth and all other planets are sphere-shaped.